Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to the We All Juggle Knives channel and my review of this multi-tool, which is the Maerd 9-in-1 multi-tool. Here it is on the old food scale. So it weighs 131.8 grams, which is equivalent to 4.65 ounces. Here it is next to the Sunbird multi-tool, which is on the right. I have already reviewed the Sunbird multi-tool. As you can see, these multi-tools are closely related. They've just added more and some longer tools. All right, let's check out the tool set. As you can see, this has a pocket clip. It's got one-handed opening on a plain-edged knife blade. And that is the lock, right? So that is a locking blade. On the other side, it has scissors, which you can also open one-handed. And those lock as well. All right, we're going to test all of these out. Now on the back, it's got three longer tools. Right, it's got a wood saw. It has a serrated blade. And it has a double opener tool, right, with a can opener, a bottle opener, and a wire stripper. All three of those tools do lock as well. That is the lock release there, right, for all three of those. So interesting. So basically this has 5 longer tools. There's a look at the pocket clip. And it also has a glass breaker, or as they call it, the window hammer. Alright, doing stuff with the tools. Let's start with the saw. So I did a test cut with this saw and I found it's actually a very fast and fairly smooth saw. Definitely of good quality. I was actually surprised. Alright, so there's the results you see. Yeah, very fast saw. The back of the saw is also pretty sharp. I'm going to use it as a striker for my fire steel. Alright, and I did have to, I turned the volume down because that scraping noise really gets to me, but yeah, it's always good if you can use the back of the saw for striking, as well as you can scrape bark or really any sort of scraping task you might have, right? So that's a tool in itself. Here are the scissors on some paracord. As you can see, these are very good quality scissors. I mean, no problem with the paracord. Here are those scissors on some heavy strap material similar to a seat belt, and it just lasers through that. Here's the knife blade on that same paracord, slicing through. Now, they did not list the steel on this, but on their other multi-tool, they use 440A, so possibly that. Alright, the most important part of any review, the alcohol. Here's the bottle opener. This bud's for you. Oh, got some suds there too. Alright, so that worked well. Speaking of this dual opener tool, it has a can opener at the end. You see how it's cut there. It's pretty pointed. We've got some crab meat. I'm just going to pierce or puncture this just to show that it's sharp and pointy enough to do its job, and if you so chose, you could go all the way around and get some crab meat. The serrated blade was not as sharp as I would have liked, but nonetheless, those serrations can still rip and tear. Right? So you kind of have to strong arm it, but it does cut the strap. Here is more use of the plain-edged knife blade going to carve and whittle on this piece of wood. So how are you all doing these days? I hope you are doing well. As for me, I'm keeping busy investigating more multi-tools for all of you. Now, I knew the scissors on this would be really good because it uses the same scissors as several other multi-tools that I've already tested out, right? So that is what influenced me to give it a try. I sped this footage up because your time is valuable. Now the edge on this, they kind of messed it up a little. I'll show you a close-up of the edge later and explain more. But it's a 3-inch long blade, which is not bad for a multi-tools knife blade. Alright, there you go. So it carved and whittled pretty well. Here it is cutting up some food, peppers. Now, if you know me, you know I love the peppers. And as the weather gets warmer and hotter, the chilled peppers taste better and better to me. All right, so yeah, I hope you're all staying happy and healthy in these stressful times. It was well sharp enough to cut up some food, but all right, here's what I was talking about. For comparison, we have the Sunbird knife blade on top, and now that is actually very sharp. You can check out the review. However, on the Maerd, they have failed to take the relief grind back far enough, and as a result, the edge is not so good. I did touch it up, but to make it really sharp, this would actually require substantial reprofiling of that edge. Here is the pocket clip, being a pocket clip. Now, it was on the loose side. I felt it was a bit loose, not too secure. I did smash the glass breaker on a cinder block of testing. You see that hole? That's from a tomahawk spike. But yeah, I smashed it against the cinder block a few times just to see if it would stay pointed. It did stay pointed. They say it's tungsten alloy. That could be useful if you did have to break a window or to defend yourself, so to speak. And the last thing, so the double opener tool also has a wire stripping notch, and one way to use the notch is to kind of close it like that and then pull the wire. And as you can see, look at that, it actually worked pretty well. Alright, so it can strip wire, useful. Final thoughts and conclusions on this multi-tool. Well, it's really very interesting. Notice it does not have any screwdrivers. That is a bold choice. Now, I'm assuming that, well, there is my tack life. It's a screwdriver, bit driver screwdriver, and it takes all those double-sided bits, right? So I'm assuming that they mean this multi-tool for someone who maybe is carrying a screwdriver in some other way, or if you just don't need a screwdriver, this would be a perfect complement to something like that tack life. The best parts of this were the saw and the scissors. Those were both excellent. The double opener tool, all three functions of it worked well. However, the pocket clip was definitely a bit loose, and the two knife blades were not so good. The serrated blade, not nearly as sharp as Victorinox serrations, and they messed up the plain edge on my knife blade. I'm not sure if they're all like that, or if the guy at the factory was just at the end of his shift and didn't care anymore, but that will require a lot of reprofiling. This multi-tool was $30, and it was almost sold out last time I checked, and they had raised the price on the last ones to $40. One of two things will happen. Either this will disappear and you just won't be able to get it, or more brands will pick it up and then the price will go down. If the price ever goes down to around $20, I would recommend it at that price point. It is a super interesting design just because it shows that if you don't have to worry about pliers, you can actually fit 5 longer tools in a relatively compact package, so I hope they try more configurations along these lines. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out the links below the video. Those help support the channel, and be advised, super thanks are now enabled for this channel. That is that heart button, right? That allows you to support the channel directly. All right, this has been We All Juggle Knives. I'm out.